Welcome, G3 investors. This is Greg Gallagher, and we're going to call this week the coronavirus week. Well, so much for the down under week. It didn't really go that well anyway. So next week, it's Texas. Everything's bigger in Texas. So we shall see how we do, see how we trade. Okay, so the coronavirus ruled the week, and what a week we had. Here's a heat map of how Friday's closed looked. We only had, well, let's see, the S&P, or no, the NASDAQ was up 9.3%. And I think the S&P 500 was too, but this is a heat map, the S&P 500, and that's what the green on the screen looks like when you have a 9% plus gain. Now, since we didn't do a report for the 12th, this is what it looked like, which was also a 9.4% move to the downside. So this is how this week went. It's just wild, folks. Unbelievable. Yeah, here's the indexes for the week. Well, this is for the day. You can see the green on the screen, and this is for the week. So we ended up closing down for the week, down for the month, and down year to date. And you can see we had 2 limit down days. I think the one we had at the beginning of the week was the first limit down day since 2008, and then we had a second one just all in this week. There it is. Monday it happened. Minus 7.3%. These are all on the NASDAQ Composite Index. Plus 5% on Tuesday. Wednesday, minus 7. Thursday, minus 9.4. And then Friday, back to our gains. What an incredible week. Now, the $1 million question, is this a bear market? Okay, we had this huge run on the S&P 500 from 2009, this bottom down here. That's what you're seeing from 2009 to date. And I kept saying, boy, this looks like a correction. Could it, and this might be the euphoric top. When I say it might be, this is definitely a bear market pullback. But is it a real bear market? A real bear market, we would have a sharp up to, like V-shaped up move here, and then we would turn and go below this and below this. And then that, I would say, is a bear market. And we're not there yet, folks. So that's the question that we need to answer, or the market's going to answer in the upcoming weeks. So here's a 3-month chart, of the QQQs. Okay, that's one of the ETFs that we have that looks to me like it's getting to that spot where we may be in play on Monday if this really moves, and if I'm right about going back up the other way. Others, technology. Whoops, hit the wrong button there. Okay, ding, ding, ding. Yeah, the technology sector. Okay, see again, it looks like it's going to get up there. Okay, and so I've for the tier 2 patrons, you'll get the schedule, and I'll highlight in light green those things that I suspect might. Let's look at something that we know isn't going to get there. This is energy, and it's probably not going to get there. Even though I've got it's been declining, and it's way down here in a deep bear market, and so I've got it. The last 3 down days, 1, 2, 3. If we get above 37, we could fill this gap. So I would take a trade on it, but the likelihood, it's probably not going to happen. I'm not saying. Now, what I do want to show you one more chart here. Here's a chart of gold. Why do I want to show you this? Because we've, as I've reported to you, we only have 2 ETFs that we follow that are trading above the 200-day moving average. And one of them was gold, and the other one's TWM, which is our inverse ETF for the Russell 2000. And why do I want to show you? Well, when you have a real bear market, everything gets whacked. So gold, the big fear trade, it got whacked the last 2 days. Look at that. I mean, it's incredible. It surprised the heck out of me. Okay, now here's our trades for the last 2 days. We did have a nice gain on the 12th. We're going to go over that trade. And then I did some shenanigans here, which I did this because we had an excellent question from Alex C., one of our tier tier 2 patrons, and he rightly pointed out, why do you sometimes go overnight on inverse ETFs? Because it's a dangerous move, and I'm going to show you the danger. All right, here's the good trade. I call this chart one great trade and two bad trades. Now, we bought 800 at 18, we sold at 24, we gained $4,000, 4.2%. That's our best gain of the year. It's a big, nice gain. Really appreciate it, market, Mr. Market, when you go. Why did I take this trade? Well, obviously it crossed the line here and we got in the red line. But look, it never really violated that red line. And that red dotted line, folks, is how we trade short ETFs. It's a 10-minute chart, and it's the 20-period moving average. And so I said, man, we're way up on the day. I mean, I forget what this closed at, but why not take it? And boy, did we get lucky. And this was on the 11th, and then the 12th, and then we got out here at 24 and made our money. Now, because of what Alex pointed out to me, I said, you know what? Let's do this again. So I bought back in here at 24.20, held it overnight, took a big hit. Remember, we had that big gain. Well, this big green bar here, where the market gapped up, clear down here, because the market gapped up 900 points or something and went all the way to negative territory. So we got out right here, and I didn't quite make it at the 24.20 to break even, but still I lost $160. And it's just, the point is, it's a dumb trade. Why? Look at how we go up, and we went down below the red line, went up above it, and down, up, down, up, down, up. And then I took a long position and I went overnight. I should have took the money and run. I didn't do it on purpose. Doesn't matter. It's a training video. I didn't put this trade out for anybody to do or that follows along and wants to trade this way. I just did it to show. And then here we are again. What did I do again? I tried to scalp and make up for it, and I got lucky and did. But it's not a good trade. It's a dumb trade. Why? Because we're going up and down this line. It's not, if it would have went up, okay, and stayed up here, yeah, I'll take the trade anytime. But I didn't wait till it got back down here. I took the profit and went on. Now let's look at the SQs. Two bad trades. Okay. Well, first, why didn't I hold the SQs overnight like I did TWM on the 11th to the 12th to pick this big gain up? I would have loved to have done it. I would have made a fortune. But here's why I didn't. Our discipline says you must sell. Why? Look, you go above it, you go below. Now, we didn't get stopped out here. I give it a lot of leeway when it's early in the day. Came up here, and it started to go down, and it went to the red line, and I sold. And I took the trade, and we made money on that trade. And I felt good. I had one that I held and one that I didn't. But then I got over and I listened to him. I said, hey, this would be a perfect example of how to trade the wrong way. Had a great gain here. Got in here, had a beautiful gain. Futures were up in the evening. Overnight, boom, down we go. Sold, lost $900. Okay, that's a bad trade. I broke the rules. Don't break the rules. I'm telling you this, and I know, as I tell you, you will break your rules. Everybody does, but it's a bad move. Sorry about that. Don't have that down. Okay, here's our results through March 13th. And in 2 weeks, we're up. We're 10% better, 10.4% better than we were in February. It's just incredible. And we're crushing the S&P, the NASDAQ. We're crushing everything. It's just amazing. Become a patron. Go here, copy this into your browser. We got a new patron. Shout out to Evan S. and a shout out to Alex C. for being. And we've got some G1 patrons. That's all great. I love it. Love it all. Okay, here we go. Our stats for YouTube have picked up. Apparently some people are learning a little bit about shorting. We had 775 views in the last 28 days. That's 32 hours of viewing, and we got 7 new subscribers. Marked all in dark green because This is the best we've done since 2017 when we started doing this. So I'm very pleased with that. If you're a tier 1 subscriber, here's what you're missing. This is the traded setups that they get us. I send this out. I'll send it out tonight. And then tomorrow, if the market, after the futures open up, I might send out corrections. But these are the ones highlighted in light green are the ones that I think are getting pretty close to taking the trade. Last but not least, the coronavirus. I'm going to put the facts on this. American leadership under 2 different presidents. Here's the Trump administration, and he's dealing with this coronavirus. And look at here's where it came from, the date, inception date, who's hit the hardest. And I'm comparing that to how Obama administration handled the swine flu, the H1N1 virus, came from Mexico. And it just amazes me. To me, it seems to me like this guy's doing a pretty good job. But he took him 65 days from the inception date to declare a national emergency. It took Obama 6 months. 41 dead. None of them really coming from outside the United States because he put all these travel bans in and stuff. Obama, 1,000 dead, 20,000 hospitalized. Okay, and who knows how many cases there were? They don't even know. Not all these cases here are hospitalized. Some of them are just got tested and they're just being quarantined for 14 days. Now, what's it going to finally end up? I don't know. It could be just as bad. I don't think it will be, but so how's the mainstream media doing? He calls them the fake media, or fake news. Well, I don't blame the guy because he gets blamed for everything. Obama, you'd think he was the second Messiah. He had kid gloves treatment. They never said anything. How are we responding? People are scared. We've got the NCAA, the NBA, NHL all canceling their final playoffs and stuff. Then we got baseball delayed, the Masters, the Boston Marathon. We got major closings, schools, Disney, Broadway. We got the St. Patrick's Day parade in Chicago being canceled for the first time, I think, in history. We got music concerts, conferences, trade shows. Hell, new movies are releases are being delayed. I've never seen anything like this, but hey, maybe it's a new paradigm switch on how we're going to do these viruses, and maybe something will good come out of it. I don't know. Well, this is Greg Gallagher, G3 Investors, and as always, good luck and good trading.